everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trigger Warning. I'm TT.
I'm Kim O.
So you are texting away over there.
Listen.
I'm like, are you ready to tape?
The kids don't stop texting me for money and access and whatever they want. Tickets, money, and it's summertime now, so it's...
So they're trying to be outside.
I need them all to have a job. All three. 2 have jobs. My son is 14. He's too young to work technically, but I was working at 14.
I was definitely working at 14.
I had like 3 jobs at 14.
Yeah, I was babysitting, hustling, doing some type of work at 14.
These kids are different.
Yeah, they are, and they think you're supposed to fund everything for them.
I can't afford it anymore. I can't afford it anymore. If you'd like to contribute to my GoFundMe, no. Like, Corey texts me constantly for money to eat. My son eats 5 times a day.
Yeah. He's 14, mine's 13, and he probably eats 20 times a day.
It's insane. He comes home, well, when he was in school, he was coming home from school and eating a meal, right?
Yeah.
Like a full meal.
Before dinner.
Right, but I'm thinking it's dinner, so let me make you something. And then by 7, 8 o'clock, he's like, what's for dinner? I'm like, you had dinner. You had lunch in school, you came home and you ate. There's no more dinner, but he wants another dinner. I can't.
That sounds like my son. You know, I had to put my son on a monthly allowance. Like, look.
How much you give him? Can we put that out there?
I started him off small, $250.
Let's not put that out there because my son, I'm not doing it. $250 what? A week?
No, for the month.
Oh.
No, for the month.
Girl.
For food. A food allowance.
I was about to walk out of this place because I ain't got $250 a week for him.
No, a month just for food allowance. So the problem with him was like every day I'm checking my apps,
right.
Uber Eats, DoorDash, and he's like ordering food every day.
Yeah.
And it's like $1,000 worth of like food orders in a month, and I'm like, nah, this is OD.
Yeah, these kids are crazy.
Yes. So now it's like, listen. Here's your monthly food allowance.
Right.
And if you go through that ordering food every day, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
What does that break down to a week?
I don't know. I'm not really.
What's that, $60-something a week?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
That's very fair.
Because if you're eating Chipotle every day, because that's his favorite, right?
$20.
It's $20. You need to learn how to like stretch.
I might take this advice from you because my son, I've been realizing, or I've realized over the last couple of months, it's somehow $20 a day. But see, he's diabolical with it.
But $20 a day, 7 days a week, how much is that?
But this is what I'm saying. He's diabolical because you know what he does? He waits till I'm on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
That's him. So they have the emergency breakthrough. That's why they're always going to ring no matter how silent I put on my phone.
You want to answer?
Oh, that's actually Kiana about the A Boogie concert. That I will tell her to call you personally. She's going to call you to thank you for. So I'll be on a Zoom call, and I'm hectic working. And on the Zoom, he'll creep behind me, like right here. And I can see him in the camera while I'm on the Zoom on a business call. He's like, Mom, can I have money for food? Like he's right there in the Zoom. And so, you got to be like, and you keep talking. And so he asks me for the money during times where he knows I'm super overwhelmed because I'll just send it. Yeah. As opposed to if he just asked me in a humble, I'll be like, nope, you got to do this. You didn't do this. I sent you $28 this morning. But he knows when to ask me.
Yeah. And I don't understand the problem in like going to make yourself a bowl of cereal.
Or a sandwich. They don't want that.
Just make a bowl of cereal. Listen, my son is on set today, and he's just like, what do you mean? Just go eat a bowl of cereal. Make a sandwich. Why do you, every time you're hungry, you have to equate that to DoorDash, Uber Eats, Chipotle, or something outside? It's like you have a whole refrigerator full of food, a whole pantry full of snacks, and you still want to order.
I'm a nurturing person, and I think after my divorce, I vowed I would never be like that for someone, like be that nurturing, take care of them like that. It's just in my nature, and I just wanted not to do that ever again, to not be in a situation where like, damn, you did something, you changed who you were for this person.
Yeah.
But I think God was like, I'm gonna have your son be that person.
Yeah.
You're gonna do everything for him anyway.
Yeah.
So like, my
so
whole
do
thing
you
is,
show him tough love? Do you be like, no, that's it, $20, I gave it to you already, that's enough?
You want the truth?
Yeah.
If you ask my daughters that, because I have 2 older daughters and then my youngest is a son, they're going to say no. They're going to say I give him everything he asks for, that he's super spoiled and he doesn't do anything. That's what they would say. But that's not 100% true. Just a little. Okay, maybe.
Well, you have to break that habit, because
I do.
Here's the thing. You know, I had my nephews before I had my son. And the thing is, if you continue to like coddle them, they'll never know how to stand on their own as a man as they get older. So I try to find balance with my son. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm going to put you on this budget.
Right.
Once that's done, then it's done. And here's the stipulations. These are the things that you have to make sure it gets done. One is grades.
Right.
Like, I don't play with grades.
That's
it's
good.
85 and above.
That's great.
And if you can't maintain that, everything is shut down. I don't play with grades. And 2 is, if you commit to something like sports, like he's he plays soccer and basketball. That's his 2 dominating sports. You commit to it, you follow it through, you show up, you practice, and you do what you need to do. So those are like the 2 big sticklers for me, and respectful to adults and people in authority. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for you, but you got to put the work in too.
So I think I was this ideal parent when I had my daughter, my oldest. And I felt like I was doing everything right. And then I had my second. By the time I got to my 3rd kid, I was like, do what you want to do.
I was exhausted.
Whatever you want to do, just here's the money. It just is different. And they say that, right? Like they say, like the first kid, when the pacifier falls on the floor, you boil it.
Yeah.
You before you give it back to the kid. And the second kid, it falls on the floor, you kind of like, you give it to the kid.
Yeah.
And then by the 3rd kid, you just put the dirt in their mouth.
Yeah.
Like just that's what it was for me and the 3 kids.
No, I mean, I grew up in a house of 8 siblings altogether. I got 8.
siblings.
So, yes, I understand that dynamic
Yes.
of just being tired, like whatever. Just at this point, just do whatever. I don't
Do
care. Get out my
whatever
face.
you
Get out my
I
face.
did this already once. I
Yeah,
can't do this again.
get out my face. But that's interesting, because there's no manuscript on how to
I know.
parent. You just literally figure it out. You know what I mean? And you just try to raise your kids to do what's right. And I think the biggest accomplishment for me is how, when I go to parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that, or people tell me how respectful my child is.
That's great.
And that, to me, is like the win-win, right? It's
Agreed.
like when other
Agreed.
people
When
speak
other-
about how well-mannered.
Especially other parents.
Yeah, exactly. So, outside of parenting our kids and being their Uber drivers and
Right.
their personal ATMs,
Right.
I have been exhausted. I was filming the show Deb's House on
Oh my God.
WeTV.
I forgot to put that on our list of topics to discuss.
So I literally have been so exhausted from filming. I mean, how those competition shows are, because you're in television production.
Yes.
So you're on sets all day long, and
It's brutal. It's brutal.
It's brutal, and
Yeah.
I have really bad anxiety. I literally cannot. I just be like, let's go. How I am. I'm ready to get in a chair. I'm ready to record. And I'm ready to get out. Everybody knows that around me. It's like TT's always ready to just move, knock it out.
Right.
But I never done reality shows before, because besides being the support, if Love and Hip Hop, when the girls call me and be like, can you do an episode? Can you listen to this? Or can you do, I don't mind being a supporting cast of a show. I never really wanted to be on reality television, because I just don't like how reality television can sometimes control your narrative, and the editing you don't have no control over. Just a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I really didn't like. But the reason why I decided to do Deb's House is, one is, I have a rapport obviously with Deb for the many years that she has been in the music
the
industry.
business.
And two is I felt like it was a competition show based on something I like. You know, I'm always in the studio with female rappers. I'm always getting phone calls from other female rappers about their projects and my thoughts and things of that nature. So it was like in the landscape of like things that I already do in my...
It fit your brand.
Yeah, my
Doing the
professional
show
life.
fit your brand.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I didn't like the long hours and like not having control over the edits and
So
stuff
wait,
like that.
how many episodes are you actually on? Are you on all of them?
I shot, I want to say maybe 4 episodes.
Oh, you're
but
like a regular cast member. You
but
was like a regular
like
cast member.
Yeah, I'm like a judge on the show.
Right.
But contracted for like 3, like guaranteed. Because I'm like, listen, I don't got all day to be shooting these scenes. Like,
when you sign up, you really sign up. And I, you know, obviously I know a lot of, because I produce. This is my main thing now.
Right.
And even though I've done shows outside of this genre, people have become, or my name has become familiar in the reality TV space. So people know I have that insight. But I actually did a reality show years ago, 2013. So I understand both sides.
I remember that show.
Yes. We got to talk about that.
Yes.
So for you to do it, right, especially, and I know the budgets, right, and so I know the showrunner very well. Me and him have worked together. It's a WeTV show. I know I've done a couple of WeTV shows, so I know what they look for. But because you were a judge on the show, I thought it was a good move, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will straight up tell you, don't do reality TV, oh my God, don't do reality TV, right? Like there's this fear, I think, of people like yourself who are established brands or businesses, right? It's almost like this narrative of like it can hurt you more than it can help you, which I don't agree with that, although I do see that side of like, yeah, you know what I mean? There can be things that go wrong or something happens in the edit and there's a little snippet of you saying something and people feel a way, which I saw. So when I saw the clip, being a producer, you know, I was like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I liked it. I'm like, TT Simon Cowell, right? That's what I called you in the comments, Simon Cowell. Because, of course, whatever you said, as a producer, as an editor, because you sit there for 6 hours and do that, and it comes out to a 2-3 minute scene, right? As a producer, when I get the footage, even when I work in post, I know I'm going to take that clip that's the most salacious, that's the most, you know, has the most personality, the most effect, and I'm going to use that in the edit, right?
Yeah.
So as a producer, when I looked at it, I didn't see anything wrong. I was like, oh, it's like you were being, it probably was, you know, the most candid and most personable of you that they had, right?
And organic.
Right.
Yes.
And I forgot what you said, right? But then I saw the comments on it. And I was like, huh. Because people, I guess, don't have the insight of knowing that I'm sure you sat there and gave her a whole bunch of constructive criticism.
I did. So here's the thing. There was nothing negative about that show, that clip, until a blog posted it and then put a spin on it and changed the narrative of it to make it negative.
Okay.
Because it had already been out. And so people were like, yeah, people with comprehension skills got what I was saying.
Yeah.
But when a Stan blog posts something and then put a spin on it, of course, you will see massive negative comments, right?
Do we want to say the blog or no?
No, I'm not giving them credit for that. But what I wanted to say, and I'm kind of mad at myself for responding.
Okay.
Because typically when people say things about me or whatever, I've been in media for so long, 20 plus years, there's no blog or anyone in this industry that can say anything to me that can hurt my feelings at this point, because I've literally like had the worst of the worst things said about me, and good and good things said about me. So like I have this blinders on. Like, I don't care what you say. Like, you literally sit behind a computer. Half of them are bots. They're paid bots.
Right.
They're not real people. And I've had criticism, good and bad, my entire career. And there's a rule that I live by. You're not always as good as you think you are. You're not always as bad as what people say you are. So you have to take the good with the bad. But what was bothering me is the comprehension skills that I think some people just read the headlines and don't really like look at the clip. For example, so when the young girl came on the set, right? She's a TikTok girl. She has a lot of followers on TikTok.
Right.
And the scene opened up with like them having to do this freestyle. And when she started, I was like, oh my God, like, this isn't good. And my natural reaction was for real. Like, is this a joke? Like, I thought I was like being spoofed. You know, like how you get into something and you're like, no, this is comedy. This is a spoof. But then I'm like, no, you dead ass?
Right.
Like,
it was that bad.
It was that bad. And so for me, the question was asked by Londell. So Londell asked her 3 questions.
Right.
One was, who's your 3 favorite artists?
Right.
And she said in this order, Cardi B, Doja Cat, and Nicki Minaj. So if you notice at the end of my statement, I said Doja Cat, if I put you on stage next to Doja Cat, she would eat you alive because she's more than just an animated rapper. So that question was asked. And then the second follow-up to that was, well, why?
Right.
Because they're an animated rapper. Okay, but what else do you like about them? So I specifically asked her, what else do you like about them?
Right.
Producing, writing, live performances, you know, punchline, skill set. Like, what else do you like about them other than them being animated
rapper? Right.
And so she's like, well, like Missy Elliott. I said, okay, but what else about Missy Elliott do you like? Do you understand what else Missy has contributed to the culture? Do you understand what else Nicki has contributed to the culture? Do you understand what else Doja Cat has contributed?
Now all the stuff that you're saying didn't make the edit, right?
Didn't make the edit, right? Because, you know, as you said, they condense it. They condense it down, and that was just and the clip that went out was just a social media clip to hook you in.
Right.
But once you watch the show in its entirety, and once you see the season play out, you're going to obviously put it together, like, why? So then she couldn't answer that question, and then she just kept saying, I just want to be an animated rapper, I just want to be an animated rapper. And that's when I lost it, because I'm like, there is more to these girls than just animated rapper, and you have just being an animated rapper. And I said, you have not done your research enough to understand what it takes to get to the level of your 3 favorite artists. And that's what was annoying me about her, because you want to be a rapper because you like the popularity of being a rapper. You like the TikTok views, and you like, because you come from that.
That's the era she's in.
That's the era she's in.
What was it that you responded to?
So that's the part I responded to, is the fact that she kept saying she couldn't answer the questions as to why. Did you know Missy Elliott is a phenomenal producer? She went into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Did you know anything about your 3 favorite rappers that you claim you want to be other than animated and popularity? Because a lot of times these girls come into the business and they think popularity automatically equates to success.
Yeah.
And that's not true, because they see like maybe Cardi's popular because she was popular on social media, and not see the groundwork that girl put in years prior to her popularity, you know, taking her to this part of the game. So that was my point I was trying to make. So I lost it when I was like, and then when you watch the 4 episodes, you see, and I was like, these girls are more than just an animated rapper. Just being an animated rapper is a one-trick pony. You have to be more. When you think about animated rappers, like I could say a Busta Rhymes.
Right.
People will consider Busta Rhymes as an animated rapper, but he was part of leaders of the new school. Like, he had so much depth to him. An amazing performer with an amazing pen game, who literally can perform loops around people. Like, his stage presence is crazy.
So people can see the whole episode right now, right?
Right now on All Black, Peacock, WeTV. And by the way, the numbers came out and we did extremely well.
Great, congratulations.
Yeah, extremely well. So interesting, after that went viral, right?
That's what I want to know. Like, what did you respond to in the comments?
Oh, I responded in the comments, like, your comprehension skills are just, for the people that can't comprehend, nobody is dissing.
To the blog you responded.
To the blog and to the comments.
And to the comments. Okay.
My point in responding was to say, this wasn't a dig at any particular rapper.
Right.
If you use your comprehension skills, what I was saying is that these 3 people that she said was her favorite are more than just animated rappers. They have contributed more to the culture than just that.
So I would say, because, see, I used to feel like, don't respond, don't comment. People would say things online. This is sort of like in the change of the digital age, when people, there was a lot of talk about me because of the case, right? And I never responded. I would just be quiet. I didn't jump in the comments. Today, 2024, if I got time, or if I don't have time, I'll make time. I jump in the comments and I respond, because I feel like now if you don't respond, you are letting someone else steer the narrative. And so now people are like, Kim, don't buy into that negativity. I'm like, oh no, I'm buying in today. Like, I will go into the comments and respond to as many as possible to change the narrative, because people read comments now like they read articles. So even though the article is up top, people will go into the comments to see what other people are saying about it. So I feel like, let's go.
And they sway their energy, based upon the comments.
So I would say go right in the comments and respond. I'm of a different mindset.
But I hear you. But for me, I think a lot of it is just noise.
It is, and generally we don't have time to respond to the comments.
But I think the point of social media and the point of why these blogs or certain people spin things to be negative, because they do want your engagement.
Yeah.
Because they understand that putting the twist on it is feeding their fan base, and that engagement is all they care about. So why like mess up your day giving them that energy when what it is? Like, I don't gotta explain to you what the fuck
that's
I
how
meant.
I used to know what it is. That's how I used to feel. But now when I look, I see that responding and commenting is part of the news cycle. It's like if a celebrity jumps in the comments of the Shade Room will take the comment, put it up, and make it a story, right? So it's almost like, yes, in the comments, it's your chance to imprint, say what your position is. And I just feel like the game has changed so much that is part of media and what we do now. I believe that we have to jump in the comments now.
I don't know, Kim. I'm still on the fence about that. I feel like I just read this book, Why Small Talk Sucks. It's Charlamagne's new book. I just read it from beginning to end. And he talks about exactly how I feel. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's just small talk that amounts to nothing. Like, it's literally like frying your fucking brain cells. Like, you remember that?
I'm jumping in the comments.
You remember that commercial when we were younger, that drug commercial?
It's your brain on drugs.
It's your brain on drugs. I feel like literally that's what social media is. And right now we don't have enough data to really determine how much social media will impact our brains years from now. There will be some scientific data.
Absolutely.
But I really feel like...
But there was that documentary on Netflix. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that part. But the point I'm trying to make, it literally feels for me like I'm taking that commercial and my brain cells are being fried, responding to these idiots. So at this point, I just literally let them talk. Mm-hmm. And so, Miss Deb called me and she's like, she called me because she was reading the numbers to me and temperature checking because she saw that the video went viral, and she was like, no, girl, I had to check them. Like, you weren't dissing nobody.
She jumped in the comments, didn't she?
Yeah. No. She said that she had to check them. She was like, you weren't dissing nobody. I had to check them. Like, don't bring that negative shit over here. But if you use your comprehension skills, you would have known Miss Deb is part of the success of the person you're saying I'm digging at. Like, you know what I mean? Comprehension skills. Like, I got enough respect for Miss Deb to you know what I mean? To like understand how to move in that space.
Well,
like,
I think with you, it kind of was getting a little personal, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, because of your relationship with a specific artist. Right.
Absolutely.
So
well, my relationship with two specific artists, which, by the way, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, that's never going to change. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because when you have real friendships with people and real relationships with people, you can address the good, the bad, and the ugly directly with them. And it's not for public
consumption.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's never going to change. But what social media tries to do is what social media is designed to do, and I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, is it tries to take away your authentic thoughts and feelings about something. Look at Kendrick Lamar and Drake, for example. We all saw that concert that happened, right? Phenomenal concert on Juneteenth.
Biggest thing in hip hop, probably.
Yes.
In the last year?
Absolutely. Biggest thing in hip hop. The most thought out, strategic battle we've seen in a very long time. I personally think that Kendrick won that battle. I personally think that Kendrick holds the crown. But what social media is not going to do is make me feel like I can't still like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, if you pay attention to the comments, and like when I'm having conversations with younger kids and they're talking to me about Drake, like 3 months ago, everybody was hitting me for a ticket to a show, but now it's like,
it's super immature, right? So like, I do look at it like I kind of joke around my daughter because of that same thing, right? You know, we all believe that Kendrick won, right? But and she's in the car rapping the song, right? But I specifically remember 6 months, 3 months, whatever it was, you were begging me for Drake tickets. And you went to the Drake show. So it's like you're still a fan of Drake. You're just, in your mind, you're on this right now. And that is the social media thing. Look, I enjoy the trolling. I'm not even going to front. Sometimes I think it crosses the line. And it gets mean, and it becomes cyberbullying. And I think we have to be careful with that because of people. But Drake is a big troll himself. So it's like everything that's happening, you brought it on yourself. Now, I'm still a fan of Drake, you know? Would I say that the Kendrick battle made me look at him different? No, because I kind of, even in being a fan of his, I kind of always felt that way about him. I always felt like he was a specific type of artist. And it's not to take any credit away from him, right? But I look at Kendrick and Drake as two very different artists. And I've always just having this authentic, you know, appreciation for hip hop and lyricism. And I've always kind of leaned more to the Kendrick side.
But you're also leaning towards Kendrick because you can appreciate a level of consciousness that Kendrick brings to music and to culture. Like Mr. Morale and Big Stepper is probably my favorite album to date from Kendrick Lamar because it was so personal, it was so deep, and it made you think and open up your conscience. I appreciate Drake because Drake makes me want to dance, sing, and have a good time.
Well, Drake's a hell of a songwriter, regardless of what people want to say.
And people
about
say,
the
he doesn't write all, but Drake
he's a
writes
songwriter
a lot for a lot of artists. He might not write all his hits. No artist, by the way, writes their music 100%. Let's just put that out there. But
there may be a couple.
There's 100%. There's 100%.
Right.
All right, Kim, I'll let you have that one.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I'll let you have that one. But let me just say this. Like, I can appreciate Drake for putting on the gloves and getting into the ring and boxing. I can appreciate him doing that for the culture.
Yeah, and he's absolutely going to take credit for this moment that Kendrick is having.
Absolutely.
Right? He's going to, like, he pulled him out of his house.
But let's not take away from the fact that you motherfuckers will still be rocking with him and bumping his music and begging for a ticket to go to a Drake show.
Of course.
Like,
but
stop it.
I think that
don't get it fucked up and make social media make you feel like you cannot like Drake. Stop it. I'm gonna need all of y'all to stop it.
I think it's the kids, though. I think it's the younger. I think it's the younger. What do we call them? Gen Z. I think it's Gen Z. I think the Gen Zers or the Zillennials, in between millennial and Gen Z. I think they are raised differently in this day and age of social media. So I call it, and it's the era of cancel culture. It's like one thing and they're ready to cancel
all Drake
everybody.
has to do is stick to his formula and don't let nobody trick him out his spot. See, the mistake I feel Ja Rule made when he went into that 50 Cent battle, Ja Rule changed who he was and tried to be what 50 was. And that is what fucked him up. Nobody believed that Ja Rule was a tough guy.
But in music, let's just
wait,
let
me finish my thought.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
All of a sudden, he had us singing, he had the girls loving him, and then it was New York popping nine shooting. We was like, whoa. You on a pop chart, you over here. We love these singy songs. We love these relationship songs. This is what the fuck we want from you, Ja Rule. We don't want you bang, 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 shoot 'em up style. And that's when I feel like Ja Rule lost his underbelly of supporters. I think Drake is smarter than that. I think Drake will stay true to his core underbelly of fans.
I think so too. But going back to John 50, in that same scenario, what did 50 do? He slid into the spot that Ja had, and he started making Ja Rule type records.
But that's Ja Rule's fault.
But wait. Let's just look at it.
He gave it to him on a silver platter.
I get that. I'm not debating that part, right? I'm just saying the strategy was like there was this reversal of roles, and it worked for 50. Now, when you look at Kendrick and Drake, Kendrick has never been that artist, right, that has that level of accessibility to him. And in the last week, I've seen a lot. The visibility of Kendrick has been insane. And I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, is that going to be the same flip?
But he said it himself. He enjoys Kendrick. He said it himself that he enjoys being private.
Yes.
He enjoys not being so public.
Yes.
So, but we saw him at the Juneteenth concert.
I will say he's a Gemini, so it's half and half. Yeah. Right? It's
but
speaking
look,
for my Gemini
but
people out there. But
he has to come outside because he's putting out an album.
Right.
So he's coming outside. He did the Juneteenth concert.
It was incredible.
It was incredible.
It was strategically one of the best things a rapper has done after a battle, hands down.
And and then after that, going to his hood and shooting a music video.
Yeah, the whole LA thing was it was up for LA. It was up for LA.
But I also think too, in the battle, I feel like Kendrick had that one up on him because he had a U.S. home front. Like he had LA. Drake don't have a home here. Well, he's from Canada.
Yeah, Toronto's never really been. It's not that place.
But that's what I'm saying. If it would have been different, he would have had some type of energy behind him. I feel like, New York is the closest thing to Canada. It's like, but you don't claim
he's more
New York.
Atlanta. He's more Atlanta. If he has to claim any city.
He's the sixth guy.
He would have to go from Toronto to Atlanta.
No, I would say New York would be the closest. I wouldn't give him Atlanta.
I feel like he emulates more of the Atlanta artists than he does New York. So I feel like I could see him, going to it. Like, he's always been Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, right? So I think that's he didn't really tap into that the way he should have.
Well, he's a sixth god. He's gonna roll with them Canadians up there in Canada, eh?
Listen, Canada has never been that place. But I love Canada. When I go up there, I'm always like, so clean up here.
It's beautiful. I love Toronto.
Clean up here.
It is very.
Healthcare is amazing.
It's like the big clean Manhattan.
Yeah,
I love Canada.
But
too.
it just never had
that.
To me, culturally, it just never had that identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you always had to come from Canada and kind of adopt another region's swag. Yeah.
But I say that to say I think Kendrick having a home base,
right,
LA, I think it did help him in that battle.
Absolutely. And he pulled out all the stops, the Dr. Dre intro and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, and that was great, you know.
It was great. It was great for hip hop. It was great for
a lot of points
Juneteenth.
up for Kendrick.
Kendrick definitely wears the crown right now, hands down.
Yes.
Undisputed. Won that battle.
But the crown is heavy.
The crown is heavy. What you gonna do with that crown?
Listen, once you have it on, you already know.
Yeah.
So, but I think he did a really good job in everything, and all the moves he's made after, and I think Not Like Us is. I'm trying to think if there's ever been such a culturally relevant diss song like that. Like
Back to Back was a big record,
but it wasn't like Not Like Us. Yeah, but it didn't
was a
have
big
that
record. It was in the clubs. It was
a
being
big record,
spun on the radio.
Not Like Us is something different. I've never seen that sort of infectious viral move of a diss record. Mm-hmm. Usually a diss record is like you listening to the diss and you're like, oh, and you hear it. I mean, he did a diss record and then danced all over the country. The entire country danced. You know what I'm saying? On Drake like that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of crazy.
Because has there been a diss record with a dance? I don't think there's ever been a diss record with a dance. And that's crazy. Like the way that was thought out, like I'm gonna diss him, then I'm gonna diss him again, I'm gonna drop it on this, like everything strategically, and then I'm gonna dance on his ass. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So he won.
Speaking of crazy, J-Lo and Ben Affleck, do you think that those two are going through something in their relationship?
Oh, yes, I do. It's all over TMZ.
I know. But I don't know if they're trolling us. Okay, so look, a few months back, right, I got invited to a private listening session of J-Lo's new album that was supposed to come out. And it was called, I believe, The Love Story That Was Never Told, or The Love Story, something to that effect.
Was it supposed to be about him?
It was about Ben. She came and she presented the music to this core group of people.
Right.
And she played it from the beginning to the end. And she talked about each song.
Oh, God.
And why she created the song.
Right.
And she said that Ben was a part of the recording process.
Okay.
And she talked about like how she had anxiety and PTSD from their last relationship not working out. And she said that when they were going for this second time around, 20 plus years later, she said that Ben kept saying, Jennifer, I'm not going nowhere. I'm here with you this time. You know, this is for real this time. It's going to happen. And so to see all of this stuff now, in being in that session with her, it kind of breaks my heart because I felt some type of connection with her. I was there with her in this moment, but also I can connect with her in terms of like spinning the block back. You know what I mean? To someone that you've been away from so many years.
Spinning the block.
And then years have gone by and
then you reconnect.
You reconnect and you found your way back.
There's something special about that. I do believe that when you find someone again, it's like, I don't want to say it's meant to be, but it definitely is something that I feel like it's almost like cosmic, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like we were drawn back together. I like that part of a love story, but I felt like it all happened so fast with her, right? Now it's like,
but did it though? Did it?
I don't know, because I don't really know what they was doing when they weren't speaking.
Right, but no, she did say that, you know, for 20 years she's always felt this way about him. Like she always knew that he was the missing piece to her puzzle.
Oh,
and
that's
that
deep.
all of these men were like fillers in her life. Like, and the songs embodied and told the story.
Were they good, TT? Were the songs good?
They were good.
Oh,
I thought they were good.
Okay.
I thought they were good. You know, some people always like give J-Lo a hard time, but I thought they were good.
Listen.
I thought the production and the writing of them was beautiful.
So, full disclosure, J-Lo went to my elementary school. Mm-hmm. Holy Family in the Bronx. Uh-huh. I didn't know her like that, right? But I think as the neighborhood saw her come to fame, people wanted to get behind her and support her. And I think she has a lot of supporters, but I do think it was tough for a reason. And that film she did, where she couldn't figure out what she had on her ham and cheese or what the quarter water was, or like, I think people have struggled with her authenticity throughout her entire career, right? I will say that.
But why?
Because like, you don't put mayo on your ham and cheese and salt and pepper and all that stuff. Don't come out talking about the bodega and running up the block and doing all of that. And it don't sound, for those who, when we were running up and down the block and ordering sandwiches, we know how it went. So when you come on to this film and you say it and it's like, this is how I used to wear my hair, it just didn't ring authentic.
But can I ask you?
But can I ask her out on it?
But can I ask you a question? Does that mean that she didn't experience that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because with social media, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. They will try to persuade you to think otherwise.
Right.
And I really think that J-Lo really did have that upbringing. But she has been so removed from it because of her success.
True.
That people can't visualize that this girl probably did come from the bottom.
I was outside in Castle Hill.
Right.
I was.
But
so listen.
But
on
maybe
that
she
block,
wasn't outside.
I was outside.
But maybe she wasn't outside to the degree you were.
Maybe not. And that's okay too, right? Because I look at the success she's had and I'm like, her determination was something else, right? Maybe I shouldn't have been the fuck outside all them days. I'd have been working at my craft or whatever I was trying to do. I might have been in a different position. So I'm not taking anything away from her, from that part of her, right? Like her career, what she's done, how she looks, like she looks amazing.
I just don't understand why she gets all of this flack.
Because it doesn't come off as authentic. And that is what people have had. That is the problem people have had with her.
People have had this problem.
And that's why the
since
love
social media.
But no. Because
I feel like people have had
even in
this
the relationships that she's had,
media.
right? Look, and what I commend her on is getting proposed to all the time. I'm like, show us the way, right? Like, she get in a relationship and it's a proposal damn near every time. So show us the way. But I think because they don't work out, people criticize whatever she might be in relationships. I can respect the fact if you're saying like, hey, if it don't work out, I'm moving on.
I'm going to protect my business at all costs.
That's what I respect. But we don't hear those type of things from her. We don't hear those type of gems from her, right?
Well, she was talking that shit in her album.
She needs to put it out. Because the last thing I heard about her music career was that she had to cancel the tour because she didn't have sell enough tickets. So, and that's happening to a lot of artists these days. Artists.
But
cut it out. If you cannot sell out the Barclays or at least fill it up halfway, stop trying to book big venues. And I think because when you think about her hits, right?
She got hits. Kim. Come on. She's an icon, Kim.
TT.
Kim, she got hits.
Sing one right now. More than 4 bars.
She got the record with LL Cool J. She got the record with Ja Rule.
You don't know the names of the records. You don't know the names of the records. It's like the record with Ja Rule, the record with LL Cool J, the record with the name.
Like, why are you acting like this girl don't got hits? J-Lo got hits. Come on, man. That Super Bowl performance was incredible. She killed that. You don't think so?
I don't know. I've been to a Beyonce concert in the last 2 years, so I can't look at anything J-Lo has done as being good. Like, come on now. Wow. I can't.
Yo,
I can't. And that's not to disrespect.
They're gonna have to reject
that
your
is
Puerto
not
Rican
to disrespect.
card. That's wow.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen. No.
Wow.
I went to a Beyonce concert. Did you go to see Beyonce?
Yes, but
that shit was phenomenal.
Wow.
I said I couldn't say anything about my $1,500. I'm half Puerto Rican.
Sure?
Absolutely. I am half Puerto Rican.
You sure about that?
Yes, I am from Castle Hill. Listen, I would love to support an artist, you know, that I never really been into her music. So let's just say that her music is not for me. And so like I haven't heard a full album from her. I don't think I've listened to a J-Lo. I don't listen to J-Lo. I just don't. I don't. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry. She'll never give me a job. I'll never produce her next document. But I don't care though. Like I don't care. I'd rather be broke and have a whole lot of respect.
So do you think that the rumors are true that her and Ben Affleck are divorcing?
Oh, that's how we got here? How did you bait me, TT? Yes, I do. Because it's not like we haven't seen it before. So I think that as much as I would love to buy into a love story of two people finding each other after years. I think that's beautiful. But what happened? But what happened though?
I'm that love story.
Oh, so we're starting off the next podcast with that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but it's not always peaches and cream.
It's not. It's really not. It's very few exes that I would take back.
Really? Like, you know, interesting enough, I don't even like none of my exes, to be honest. Really?
That's it. I've only taken one back in a sense of like, there's only been, I'm trying to think if anyone's ever spun the block with me. There's one for sure. But I'm trying to think if there's another one.
So did they spin the block back and they hit you up like, yo, Kim, let's give this a second try?
Not in those exact words, but pretty much. Pretty much. Like, but it was a long time in between. Like a long time.
I think for
me.
We
were on you, TT. Don't get on me.
No, I was just saying, like, I know for me, it's because, like, the trauma that I've been through in my life, it's like, I don't really give second chances like that. First of all, it's hard for me to trust, number one. And number two, I have that's part of like my defense mechanism. Like, and I've been in therapy. I can discuss this, openly because I know that about myself, right? It's like, once there's like a trust thing that has been broken between us, it's very hard to repair that with me, because of all that I have gone through in my real life. Yeah. So if I give you a second chance, then that means you meant something. You meant something. Me.
So that's part of your love story?
I think that's part of my love story for sure.
I like that.
And I think just a lot of my exes, I had no business dating them in the first place.
Right. You see that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I see that now. Shit, half of them I don't even fucking claim. Like, if you would be like, yo, I dated TT, I'm like, that's a lie.
No, my favorite post.
I smashed TT. That's a lie.
No,
what?
I had this post that I reposted, and it was like, if you slept with me, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I'm not claiming that one. Right. Put that body on me. Right. No, sirree.
And I fully support that.
Joe,
like, imagine not getting claimed by somebody.
That's wild.
That's wild. Imagine like, yeah, I used to date. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you did not, homie. So, I want to talk about Justin Timberlake's DWI, driving while intoxicated. He was in the Hamptons having a good time. He got pulled over for running a stop sign, and according to the report, they said he was swerving in and out of lanes, right?
I don't know why I'm laughing. It is not funny to drive drunk, but go ahead.
I really don't understand it because you got Uber, you got Lyft. There is no reason.
You are Justin Timberlake. Why are you doing that?
Let's just start with that.
Right.
But there's so many options out here now. Driving intoxicated anywhere is wild to me. Just leave your car there and figure it out tomorrow.
Right.
But I want to know, do you think that this will kind of hurt his brand? Because for many years, Justin has always been
a clean brand.
Even
though he was ripping wardrobes off of Janet Jackson's titty. You so clean, Justin. But you know, I don't want to laugh at the whole DUI because I think it's, you know,
DWI.
Is it DWI?
It's DWI. Yes.
It's different in different states, I think. Driving under influence, driving
while intoxicated.
Yeah. So I think
same thing.
Yeah, right, because I guess one would include substances,
right,
and the other is
right.
Okay. So anyway, so I think that it's not funny. Let me just say that it's not funny, but it's Justin Timberlake, and it's not what we expect from him. But here was my question. There was a time, and I was having this conversation with someone recently. There was a time where maybe the officers might have been like, this is going to really be bad for him. Let's get him home. Let's get him home. Get out. You knew it was Justin Timberlake. And I'm not saying celebrities should get away with it. I'm not saying that.
They said the officers did not know who he was, which I think is a lie. Because if you're in the Hamptons at the American Hotel,
exactly,
you already know.
You know it's somebody.
You already know.
Y'all was setting him up. Y'all might have been feeding him them drinks. Yeah. You know, they wanted a moment.
But one thing about them Long Island cops is that they don't play.
Yeah, they do.
I live in Long Island. They don't play. And so if you're going to drink or do any type of substance.
Justin, that was not good.
But, you know.
But the memes are great, so thank you for the memes. I love social media memes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, the Britney Spears.
That's why I'm laughing, because it's like something like this, something serious will happen, and then the internet will just internet.
Yeah.
And it'll be funny.
What do you think Justin Timberlake needs at this point in his career? Like, you know, because I read that, you know, he was disappointed in his album sales. You know, I don't know how true of a disappointment he really is, because I'm sure at this point Justin makes his money off
like I think
so
he's
many
good.
Other things.
I think he's good, but I think his time has passed, right? And I think when you get to a certain legacy artist status, that you should accept that. And not saying you can't make new music, you can, but be, you know, like now it's time to be creative and experiment. Like I was totally on board with this flute and this Andre 3000 thing. I know a lot of people had a lot of shit to talk about it. I was like, if that man wanted flute all day, let him flute. I love me some Andre 3000, right? So a lot of people were like, we need him, we need a verse, he's past that. Right? So he's doing other things creatively. He's experimenting with his music. Yeah. He's enjoying his art. I appreciate that. Not trying to be all like, let me spit a hot 16.
And caring about album sales. Like, that's where I feel Beyonce's at in her career. I feel like Beyonce don't give a fuck about album sales no more.
Yeah, when you've done, you know, or accomplished a certain level of success, now it really becomes like a personal thing. It's like people wonder why Lauryn Hill never really kind of did what she did again with Miseducation. I'm like, well, she one and done. She was like, I gave you this, and that's it.
And it was the best.
And it was so great. I don't even want to do. I'm on to something else.
I can't top it.
Right. And so I feel like at a certain point, when you have a legacy, and Justin Timberlake has a legacy, you don't have to keep trying to get the #1 record on Billboard. I think that sometimes can be some of those artists that want to be relevant, that are 50 plus, right? That want to jump on every young artist set every time, you know, the hot artist becomes or sells out an arena. You want to be right there. You're the special guest. I want to get on your set. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I can appreciate. Relax. But that's why I can appreciate Method Man's comments.
I loved
with
his
regard
comments.
to Summer Jam.
I thought it was him as an adult maturing, like, because I don't think they were pressed to be. They don't do a lot of stuff like that. So I don't feel like they were pressed to be on stage at any point. I think they just kind of came from an invitation, if I'm correct,
no,
or if
absolutely.
I'm incorrect.
We were celebrating 30 years of Summer Jam. We wanted to put somebody iconic to embrace that moment and mash it up with the younger generation of artists. And they said, okay, hey, this wasn't for me. And I can appreciate that.
I respect it.
I totally can. Because I think when artists understands their growth and like their audience, there is an audience for them someplace.
Especially for someone like Method Man, who has been so successful in his sort of like his second career right now.
Yeah.
And I love that for him. I think he's doing great. And I love to see, especially in hip hop, when our artists, like, they've done this in this space and now they've moved on and they're doing something else and they're successful at it. I really like to see that.
Yeah.
Because, so let me just add this, because I don't think we talked about this last time. Since we're talking about legacy artists, what about Jay-Z performing at that Tom
Brady's thing? I love that. You want to know why I loved it? Because I felt like it was on brand for what Tom Brady likes. Because it was about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I think, appreciates the relationship that he has with Jay-Z, that he would want someone to represent him in that GOAT type of, in that GOAT type of caliber. Like, for example, he's got how many ever rings?
What about the controversial comment? What about that? That was, you didn't do any hip hop 50 stuff. And as soon as, you know what I'm saying, Tom Brady had this, you're on stage. That's really where the social media criticism came in. It wasn't about Jay doing that in the audience, because we know Jay is Jay. He's going to get his money. It was people saying, we didn't see you for Hip Hop 50.
Let's keep it a buck, though. A lot of those Hip Hop 50 events were kind of nasty and thrown together.
So why didn't he do one?
True.
It's Hip Hop 50. You talking about Cold Crush, what was the line, right? For what they did to the Cold Crush.
I understand that.
You should have did a Hip Hop 50 show.
I'm not giving Jay-Z no business because I love him and I'm a big fan. And I'm
a huge fan of Jay-Z.
I think he's done amazing work for the culture, so no Jay-Z slander will be
tolerated. I'm a huge fan of Jay-Z, but it's not slander.
And I will be the first to say, yes, I am biased to him.
Our artists, I ain't been to, what did they say? That you didn't go to the Rock Nation brunch or whatever?
I've never been to a Rock Nation brunch.
It's not slander to hold our icons accountable, right? There's a handful of them up there in that spot. There's only a handful. It's 50, it's Jay, it's Nas, it's Kanye. There's only a handful of them.
Can I ask a question?
They have to take the reins.
Can I ask you a question? Did Jay-Z not do anything for Hip Hop 50?
I don't believe he did. If Jay-Z did something for Hip Hop 50, we would remember that.
But does it take Hip Hop 50 to point out all the amazing things that Jay-Z has done for the culture in general?
What has he done for the culture? Just give me a refresher. I just want a refresher.
All the artists.
Sorry, I love Jay-Z, but I know every Jay-Z album. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan.
All the
but
artists,
I need to remember.
I feel like he has helped.
Memory, please. What has he done for the
Alliance?
culture?
Are you kidding me? All the prison reform stuff he has done, all the stuff he has done with his foundation, the stuff he has done with Rock Nation.
Partnerships with people that have benefited his bottom line. And listen, some of those strategic partnerships have turned out to be good for the culture.
Exactly. So can we leave it at that? Can we leave it at that, please?
She said leave it at that.
Can we leave it at that?
Slander.
No Jay-Z slander would be tolerated here on our podcast. Okay?
No.
Kidding.
No, listen, I support Jay-Z.
Wait, but I want to know, do you support Amber Rose and this Donald Trump campaign that she's on?
Listen, everyone is entitled to their political beliefs. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. But something about it is coming off as if it's for publicity. Mm-hmm. And I want to understand it more before I'm able to say it's not authentic, because I don't think I've done enough homework on her political beliefs in the past.
Well, she definitely in the past has denounced him and have said some really crazy things
that's
about him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it doesn't feel. It feels like a stunt. A lot of what Trump has been doing within the hip hop community has been very stunt-like, right? And I know personally of a situation where he's asked someone for the press op, right? Like, let me take a picture with you here. And that's...
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
Of course. He's Donald Trump. Everything's a press op.
That's right.
He's a reality TV superstar.
Exactly. So for me, when he's aligning with certain people within our culture, it's to deceive us. Right?
It's to get the vote.
Yeah, it's to get the vote.
For
it's
sure.
to deceive us.
My only thing with Amber Rose is like, you can't be for women's rights and you can't say all of these things and be for Donald Trump, who basically is taking credit for the ban on abortions.
Right. Well, the argument that she would probably make would have to do with giving the rights to the states, right? It's less about the issue of abortion and more about the decision, right? Overturning the Supreme Court decision, right? That allows the states to make their own laws on it. But because some of those states are so right-wing, obviously we've gotten some horrible laws that are now, putting this what we're seeing as a ban on abortion, right? So I think yes, for what you're saying, but
let me also say this, right? How can you be pro-women and pro-women's rights and support a man who has been found guilty?
Understood. He is not for women's rights. Agreed.
Of the things he has been found guilty of. Stop it. Stop it.
Right, because she had that whole slut walk and everything, right?
Exactly.
The whole thing was,
Stop it.
So
somebody is either brainwashing the shit out of you,
right,
or you are taking some campaign kickback to be an influencer.
Ooh.
Stop it. And the thing that bothers me the most about this election,
right,
is that people do not read past the headlines to educate themselves on the things that are going to be at risk during this election season. My personal opinion, if this man gets in office, he will be the demise of democracy as we know it. So my message is, please read beyond the headlines. And I will say this. The Democrats have done a piss poor job at just keeping it real and talking directly to the American people. They have done a piss poor job at communicating all the great things they have done.
It's a pretty shitty time, I think, for our country when it comes to this upcoming election.
It is, because all people see is this old fucking white guy who can barely talk and dancing at Juneteenth.
Did you see the Juneteenth celebration? That was a Weekend at Bernie's moment. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah, he looked straight up like Weekend at Bernie's. I was like, oh my God.
And that is the Democrats' fault.
Yeah, that's
for
bad. It was bad.
Giving main character energy.
It was bad.
So I'm gonna keep that right there, because I also want to talk to you about Ice Spice. She's coming out with a new album. She just dropped a new song. I actually like her new song.
I like Ice Spice. I'm like kind of obsessed with her, just because, I've always been upset, from the beginning when she first came out, just with the marketing of it all. I think it's genius. I think the way that I feel like she was sort of like put together. Like,
I think the marketing,
they were like, we're gonna make a rapper a cute girl with an Annie wig, and So I've been obsessed since the beginning. I was one of the first people to book her on the Rap City special we did, right? And people were like,
that. I remember seeing you there on that episode in LA and BT.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. I was
We
there.
did not air. I think it was a digital piece with Ice Spice. It was so early in her career.
I remember.
But I was like, I want her. You were there, I remember that. I was like, I want Ice Spice. And some people in the room laughed at me. I'm not going to name y'all. Some people, I was like, I'm telling you, this girl, what they're doing with this girl is going to blow. And she's got the records. Really, all you need is a hit record.
She got the right producer.
She got the right team. She got the right
producer. I don't know if she got the right records all the way, but she got the right producer, and that's Riot. He's an amazing producer. Shouts out to him. I think her celebrityism at one point became bigger than her music.
It is.
And you need to make sure.
It was a little gimmicky.
You have to make sure as an artist that you have two things working for you simultaneously.
Right.
The music has to be good.
Right.
Your stage performance and development
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better. But it has to grow with your celebrityism.
Right.
If your celebrityism grows bigger than you, your shelf life declines. I've seen it time and time again in this music industry.
Right.
You have to grow and evolve as your celebrityism gets bigger.
Right.
Because the stages become bigger and your imperfections become louder.
Right. And I saw it kind of going a little left at one point, but I feel like they're quick with her. That team is quick. They're like, they fix it quick. They fix it quick.
We have to go.
Yes, we do.
Because we've been yapping
all day.
But I'm looking forward to the BET Awards. It's coming.
Me too.
Both of us are flying out to LA to be amongst the chaos. By the time we tape again, I'm sure we're going to have some juicy tidbits from the award show.
Yes, let's see what happens out in LA.
It's going to be fun.
We will not be dancing on Drake.
Right. Will he even be there? No.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. Now. People land in LA and start not like us, just off the plane.
Oh, you meant that?
Yeah, I'm going back to the dancing on Drake, the not like us.
That completely went over my head. I'm like, what is she talking about? See, I'm tired.
Talking about people being in LA dancing on Drake.
I'm tired, and my son still want to go to a concert tonight. That went over my head like shoop shoop. I'm thinking like, damn, I gotta wrap this up so I can get to my Uber driving responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but I think as we continue to do this, the more we talk and put things out there, because I think that's really what it is, right? Like, yeah, we could talk about this stuff, but it becomes, why should we listen to y'all? And I think the more people get to know us, the more they'll be like, okay.
Okay, well, make sure you subscribe to our page. That's very important. Subscribe to our YouTube page and also subscribe to our podcast. All digital platforms. We're on all digital platforms. We're on all digital platforms. We're on all digital platforms. We're going to run it back 5 times. Okay. Listen, I'm TT.
I'm Kim Osorio.
Thank you guys for tapping in with us today.